Okay, so leadership is not about knowing what's going to happen next. It is about being ready to take responsibility for what happens next. And that may not be everybody's experience, but my experience is that no matter how much I plan and strategize about the future, I don't know what the future will hold. So effectively, I'm walking around with a plan of the future which never really happens. So I'm walking around in this space of unknowing all the time, having to be ready for whatever comes towards me, which means I couldn't possibly claim as a leader to know what's going to happen next, but I can claim that I'm ready to take responsibility for what it is. And that's pretty tricky, because I have to take responsibility for something that I cannot know. And that's really very hard. So my question is, how do we do that well in leadership? How do we take responsibility for things that we don't understand or know or can predict? What tools, what kind of attitudes do we need for that? And I would say that we need attitudes and skills that are based on knowledge, and we need another set of attitude and skills which is based on not knowing. So in this little talk, I'm going to be exploring the latter of those two. So I'm going to particularly explore the not knowing part. I think it points to that leadership is a way of being rather than a job that you have. It's about being ready to be responsible for the things you don't know or understand and take others along with you in the right sort of way. And in some ways, I would say that there are three important qualities that we will need for a journey like that. And I'm going to write them up here. So I believe that we need courage. Yeah? I think that we need trust. And I can assure you that we need love. I'm going to explore those three qualities in this little talk and try to find out how we may work with them. So this is quite a heavy-duty thing, isn't it? And we're going to need to see how do we develop those things in our leadership practice. Before I go into unpacking these three in good order, I want to just introduce another concept. Let's say that this is quite a heavy, sizable, voluminous task to develop courage, trust, and love. So how are we going to make sure that this roof is carried well? We need some pillars in this roof here. You will appreciate my Waldorf school education here. Beautiful. There we go. Okay. And so we have this roof and we have this enormous weight here of these unbelievable virtues that we need to develop, and then we need these pillars. And I am going to explore each pillar with you right now. And in order to explore the first one, I'm going to need a little bit of audience participation. Don't worry, you're not going to come up here and be sawed in half or anything like that. You can do it all by yourself and with a partner. So let me just explain to you how we investigate the first pillar. If I can invite you to either close your eyes in a moment of contemplation, and if you're uncomfortable closing your eyes, if you can just fix them on a point in the room. And when you have found a place of relative stillness, I'd like you to ask yourself, what motivates me to get up in the morning? Why do I rise for the day? Okay. If I can invite you to turn to somebody who sits near you and just share very briefly anything you wish to share. And I know that you might get up for different reasons each day, but just pick one of them. One day you remember, why did you get up? What motivated you to engage with the day? Just share for 1 minute with each other. Thank you. Thank you. And back in the room. Okay. This is a consciousness raising exercise. Okay? What are we working with when we're asking ourselves the question, why do I get up? Why do I engage with the day? Why am I stepping out of bed to do anything? What could possibly motivate me to leave this fluffy envelope, which is so marvelous, that we have to leave every day to go in to engage with whatever is coming towards us from a place of unknowing? How do we do that? So this question is about intention. Yeah? This is about understanding our intention. So I'm going to put that here. One of the pillars of carrying these amazing virtues here is to understand our intention. And I would like to claim that one of the most important things in any self-leadership or leadership of anyone else is to know yourself really, really well. Only if we know ourselves will we also understand our intentions. And only when we understand our intentions can we begin to make decisions that are based on what's really going on. And I don't know if you've ever sat in a meeting with other people and you have been thinking that there are some underlying intentions in this meeting that I don't understand. And it seems that the people in the room don't understand their own intentions. We call this a hidden agenda. Yeah? So you might sit in a meeting sometime and you might think there is something behind everything else. Equally, you might have had a meeting where you felt the intention was clear. This is when you get an experience of working to single purpose. And single purpose is also something that you might find in Steiner's foundation stone meditation, that we're working to single purpose. Now, this is about aligning your wills, aligning your actions, aligning your intentions. And so one of the pillars for carrying this roof is that we understand where we are coming from. I recently taught in an MBA program in a university, and after my class, a student, a mature student, who was an executive of a big business, a very big business in Britain, he came up and he said, I'm a mess. I am a mess. I'm not motivated. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? And I said, the only way I can help you right now is to give you this exercise. Every single morning for a period of 10 days, before you get out of bed, have pen and paper ready, and then journal to me the reason why you get out of bed. Every day for 10 days. He did it. Every day for 10 days, he woke up, he journaled why he got out of bed, and he sent it to me. And it was important that he send it to someone. There needed to be a witness. Yeah? So he got up, journaled it, sent it to me. After 10 days, we had a call scheduled in. He called me, he said, I'm a changed person. I'm motivated, I know who I am, I know what I want, I am in control, I can do what I want, life is mine. And I said, well, what happened? He said, well, I just wasn't in contact with myself and with my own intention. I didn't have any means of connecting with me. And it was such a simple exercise. There was hardly anything to it. He analyzed it. He sent 6 pages worth of analysis of this experience of finding out, why do I do anything, really? Sadly, he didn't become a coaching client because he was fine. And he apologized for that, but he did say, I was hoping this would be the beginning of a long coaching relationship with you, but I'm fine now. This is why I work for charity, yeah? So, you win some, you lose some. Now, there's another pillar here. And I'm going to introduce the other pillar by doing another exercise. This is one that involves deep concentration. Again, if you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, you just fix them on some random detail in the room and go into a moment of stillness. And I would like you to move your attention to yourself. And because yourself is quite a vague term, if that is a difficult thing to do, move your attention to a part of your body, for example. Move it to your right foot. And you move your attention into yourself or to your right foot. Don't be distracted by any mobile phones, buzzing. Are you connected with yourself? Now move your attention to the outer boundaries of this room. Try to imagine that your attention is an umbrella. Move your attention to the roof and expand it over the whole room. Expand it so that it embraces everybody in the room. Let it rest in the outer boundaries of the room, along the walls. Attend to everybody at the same time. And then bring it back to yourself. And then open your eyes and attend to what I'm saying. So let me ask you, what were you moving there? I said, did you feel you attended to one thing and then you attended to another thing? What were you moving? Anyone? Where is it sitting? Anyone?
Well, you move the attention.
Yeah, what is that?
That is like a point which you can move right in the skin space. And which
like this?
Out of the body, it can go anywhere.
So when I did the umbrella thing, did you feel that your attention was a point, or did you feel that it was somehow? Right. So it's not a point, but it has the quality of point, and it has the quality of expansion. Did anyone struggle with the umbrella? No? Okay, you're all initiates, fine. I knew it. I had that feeling when I came today. But if you did struggle with the umbrella, that's normal. It's quite hard to expand your attention. Now, obviously you didn't, so great, well done. I do still. I'm trying to demonstrate that when I talk about the attention, there are different things, and you were right, Barbara, it is a point because we have such a thing as focused attention, don't we? It's when I'm going, hello, who are you? What's your name?
I'm Veronica.
Veronica, right. So I didn't actually think about any of you at that moment. I was just with Veronica right there. But I can also do something else. The attention can do many things. It can open up like an umbrella and it can embrace all of you at the same time. And it can also focus down and it can be completely with someone else. Undivided attention, we call it. It's when it's not divided between all the people in the room, but it's just with you. The attention is something which we give freely. It doesn't cost anything, does it? It's one of the last few things in the world that doesn't have an actual price to it. But we do purchase it. For example, if we have coaching or therapy or something else, then I go and I pay for somebody to give me their undivided attention for an hour a week or whatever it is. Or teaching, for example, education. We also have a price to that, especially if you live in England, of course. In Germany, things are much better in that regard. And other things that we pay people to attend to us. Care, for example, also comes at a price these days. So it is us, it's our gift to each other. Yeah, we can give each other attention, we can pay attention, or we can receive it from others. It is one of the most important things that we have, and for that reason, we need to learn how to consciously administer it. And guess what? If you know what it is you desire, then you can attend in the right way. If you are completely clear what your intentions are, or you work towards it, you can begin to consciously administer your attention in the right way. And then we're on a path to be able to look at these things. Because then we're not at sea. We have some fixed points, some tools that we can work with. And I would like to claim that intention is a form of desire, and attention is a form of love. When I pay attention to somebody, I almost have to go into a space of love, because there is empathy there, there might be sympathy there, and there is absolutely synergy there. There is something of an exchange between me and it, no matter what it is. Yeah? Now then, I think it is important that we have the kind of skills that gives us the ability to work with that which is unknown. Because that is much harder than to work with that which is known. We are quite good at that. We like things we can prove, touch, see. We're good at that. We're physical beings, and the things that we perceive with our 15 senses are the kinds of things that we relate to well. When we talk about the things that we cannot see, we become a little bit wobbly. We become a little bit unsure about language. We run up against each other because there are cultural differences. And these days, and actually always, we equate those kinds of questions with political questions. Is it not true to say that some of the longest wars that the world have ever seen have been wars about the things we cannot see? Yeah? Israel and Palestine. Just to mention one, there are lots and lots of wars out there which are founded on principles of a metaphysical nature, things we cannot see. For that reason, the war and war and war, because they cannot be resolved, because it is actually a spiritual matter, not a physical matter. It may be expressed in a war over land and boundaries, but actually the root cause of it all has to do with a spiritual philosophical question. And so some of the things we deal badly with in leadership are the things that we don't know, the things that we don't understand, and the things that we cannot predict. And yet we encounter those every day, all day long. Now, there was a very exciting young poet in Britain called Keats. And Keats didn't get to live very long. He only got to live until he was 25, and it's amazing what he achieved in that time. He was a poet, he was writing lots of poetry, but actually the things he's most famous for is not his poetry, but the letters that he wrote specifically to his brothers. And in one of the letters that Keats wrote to his brothers, he was talking about something which we now use in different ways, and he named it negative capability. He basically introduced the idea that we have positive capabilities and we have negative capabilities. Now, there's a problem with the word positive and negative, and that is because there are two ways of understanding that. Normally, we understand positive to be something good and negative to be something bad, right? But if you are engaged in photography, for example, or in mathematics, positive and negative doesn't have anything to do with good or bad. It has to do with contrast. And the way that you need to understand the word negative capability is not bad, but contrast. Is that clear? Like negative space, for example. Yeah, good. So negative capability is not a bad capability. It's just negative as opposed to positive. So let me tell you that positive capabilities have to do with being able to make a decision and act upon it. Yeah, that's our positive capability. In leadership, education, we talk about developing your positive capabilities all the time so that you always know what to do in every single moment, right? Negative capability is the opposite of that. It's the capability not to act, not to decide, not to know. Equally, if not more important, in life as it is right now. I told this story to my workshop group, so sorry for repeating. I never know what I've just said. I have no idea. Doesn't matter. It's not that profound. It'll be fine. So I think I said that it was as important to develop negative capabilities in life as it was to develop the positive capabilities. I think it was what I said. If it wasn't...
Very profound.
Okay, so that was what I said.
Have a lot to say sometimes.
Okay, I will take my instruction from Miha. So that was what I said. That's what I'm saying now anyway, and that's also valuable. So basically, my hypothesis is that in education, particularly leadership education, but in all education and in all of life, we need to develop our negative capabilities really well. Now then, Keats, he had a definition of negative capability, and it sounds a bit strange because he lived a long time ago, so this kind of sentence is a little bit archaic, a bit old-fashioned, but I'm going to give it to you anyway because it's quite good. And he said, negative capability is to live in uncertainties, mysteries, and doubts without any irritable reaching for fact or reason. I'm going to say that again because Keats was very clever. To live in uncertainties, mysteries, and doubts without any irritable reaching for fact or reason. Do you understand that? No. He said, negative capability, the ability to be with unknowing, is to live in uncertainties, not being certain, mysteries, mystery, yeah, we know that, and doubts, doubt, yeah, without being irritated. that you don't have the facts, that you can't explain it, that it doesn't make sense to you. Good? Fantastic. That's what he said. So basically what Keats is saying is that we need to let go of fear. We need to let go of doubt. And we need to let go of irritation. Yeah? In order to have the capacity... Sorry, I keep touching this microphone. Is it all right? Okay. In order to have the capacity to engage with our knowing, we need to conquer those three things: fear, doubt, and irritation. Guess what? I think you can tackle fear with courage. I think you can tackle doubt with trust. And I'd like to think that you can tackle irritation with love. And so, because it is now 10, I'm going to draw a conclusion here, which is, if you get to know yourself really well, and you begin to map out slowly, maybe every morning in a journal, maybe not, it's find your way, your desire, your intention, if you begin to get to know it from the inside, and if you then begin to attend consciously, to pay attention consciously to what it is you desire, and always measure it about, is it good what I desire, yeah? Is that good? Is it chocolate or cigarettes, or is it good? Okay, those are good things, but you know, yeah? Is it ethical? Then you can begin to consciously work with your attention. Like you did now. It's with me, it's an umbrella, it's in the room, it's on the window, it's with her, it's somewhere else. You can begin to work with that. This will hold up the roof over which you tackle fear with courage. You tackle doubt with trust. And you tackle your irritation, your anger, your resentment, or your hatred with love. And it is possible then that you may have something that looks a little bit like ethical leadership. I don't know, but it's worth trying. Thank you for your attention.